But first, our top focus this news wheel. A major breakthrough in the fight against ISI-sponsored terrorism in Punjab. You've got Punjab DGP Gaurav Yadav, who's confirmed a joint operation by the Punjab and the UP Police in Uttar Pradesh's Pilibhit district. All of this resulting in a fierce encounter with the three operatives of the Khalistan Zindabad Force, the KZF. The encounter led to the recovery of 2 AK-47 rifles and 2 Glock pistols. The operatives, identified as Varinder Singh, also known as Ravi, Gurvinder Singh and Jashanpreet Singh, alias Pratap Singh, they were allegedly involved in a grenade attack on a police post in Punjab's Gurdaspur district. That's the Bakshiwala police station. And DGP Yadav revealed that this module was masterminded by Pakistan-based KZF Chief Ranjeet Singh Neeta, who coordinated through Greece-based operative Jaswinder Singh Manu. And further investigation shows the involvement of a Jagjit Singh, a UK-based individual serving in the British Army who used a fake identity of Fateh Singh Baggi. Now, Yadav, the Punjab DGP, praised the interstate collaboration, saying it exemplifies the strength of coordinated efforts between Punjab and UP Police in tackling these terror networks. Meanwhile, UP DGP Prashant Kumar, he also reacted to this major breakthrough, is what the cops are calling it, also lauded the operation, describing it as a decisive step towards national security. He confirmed that the injured operatives succumbed to their injuries, adding that the operation dealt a significant blow to the module's capacity for future attacks. Investigations are ongoing to uncover the module's entire network, with more arrests and recoveries that are expected. Listen in to the Punjab and the UP DGPs respectively.
In a major breakthrough against ISI-sponsored terrorism in Punjab, a joint operation of UP Police and Punjab Police has led to an encounter with 3 operatives of Khalistan Zindabad Force in district Pilibhit, UP. In this encounter, 2 AK-47 rifles and 2 Glock pistols have been recovered. The 3 persons involved who fired at the police party have been identified as Varinder Singh alias Ravi, Gurvinder Singh and Jashanpreet Singh alias Pratap Singh. All 3 are resident of the area of police station Kalanor. And they were involved in a grenade attack on the police post Bakshiwala in the same police station. The preliminary investigations have led that this module was controlled by Ranjeet Singh Neeta, the chief of KZF, who is Pakistan-based, and he was operating mainly through Jaswinder Singh Manu, who is based in Greece. He belongs to village Agwa, which is the same village of one of the module members, Varinder alias Ravi, who was leading the module. And he was being controlled and masterminded by one Jagjit Singh based in UK. Jagjit Singh is reported to be working in the British Army as well. And Jagjit Singh was using the assumed identity of Fateh Singh Baggi. In fact, the credit was claimed in the name of Fateh Singh Baggi of the KZF. The investigations are going on to expose all the connections and members of the module, and more recoveries and arrests are likely. This is a classic example of interstate cooperation in which police forces of UP and Punjab worked together. The information which was received by us was immediately shared, and a joint operation was launched against the perpetrators.
पीलीभीत पुलिस और पंजाब पुलिस की जॉइंट ऑपरेशन में ये मुठभेड़ हुई है, और इस मुठभेड़ के अंतर्गत ये तीनों अपराधी जो हैं वो मृत घोषित हुए हैं चिकित्सा के दौरान उपचार। इसमें इनको जिला अस्पताल में मृत घोषित किया गया है। इनके पास से हमारे को जो प्रमुख रिकवरीज हैं, जो मेजर रिकवरीज हैं, वो मैं आपको बता रहा हूं। उसमें 2 मॉडिफाइड AK राइफल, 2 विदेशी ग्लॉक पिस्टल, भारी मात्रा में कारतूस और 1 चोरी की मोटर बाइक है, जो भी हाल में ही चोरी हुई थी। ये आज पंजाब पुलिस की टीम के द्वारा इसमें मॉर्निंग में थाना पूरनपुर में ये सूचना दी गई थी कि ये 3 दुर्दांत अपराधी जो KZF के संग रिलेटेड हैं और जिनके नाम गुरविंदर सिंह पुत्र गुरदेव सिंह, निवासी मोहल्ला कलानौर, थाना कलानौर, जिला गुरदासपुर, पंजाब, वीरेंद्र सिंह उर्फ रवि पुत्र रंजीत सिंह उर्फ जीता, निवासी ग्राम अगवान, थाना कलानौर, और जसनप्रीत सिंह उर्फ प्रताप सिंह, निवासी ग्राम निक्कासूर, थाना कलानौर, जिला गुरदासपुर, पंजाब। ये 3 लोग हैं जिनके संबंध में ये सूचना है कि ये लोग पीलीभीत में पूरनपुर की तरफ हो सकते हैं। इस सूचना पे जो पंजाब पुलिस की टीम है और यूपी पुलिस की टीम, इनका जॉइंट वहाँ पे चेकिंग के लिए और उस इंफॉर्मेशन के ऊपर अन्य गिरफ्तारी का प्रयास करने के लिए कोशिश की गई और ये लोग वहाँ गए।
Well, the cops are calling it a major breakthrough, but exactly how major is this? To talk more about it, joining me here on the broadcast is my colleague Sandeep Punithan. Sandeep, first that question about how major really is this breakthrough and this deep-rooted nexus of ISI-backed terrorism that, this particular attack that happened at the Bakshiwala police station, also in Gurdaspur, one of those districts really close to the Pakistan border.
Yes.
But then we're talking about connections to Greece, we're talking about connections to the UK army itself. I mean, we'll talk about possibility of souring, the ties between these two nations. But I mean, really, how deep-rooted is this? This is a big problem.
Well, it's really shocking indeed, Kabir. And the Khalistan Zindabad Force, which the DGP mentioned, is an old cat's paw of the ISI. It's been known for several years. The ISI has these two groups that it uses to target India, this Khalistani terrorist groups. One is the Babar Khalsa International, the BKI, and the Khalistan Zindabad Force is the other force, which is headed by this guy called Ranjeet Singh Neeta. Now, the KZF is a very interesting organization in that it recruits Sikh youth from the Jammu region of Jammu and Kashmir. Sikhs from Jammu and Kashmir, and that has been the primary source of their recruitment, and they've been involved in multiple small attacks, grenade attacks, gun attacks and all that over the last couple of decades. But this one assertion, the fact that, as you pointed out, a serving UK soldier, a serving British soldier being hired by this group, part of this group planned this as part of this module is very, very significant. It's very disturbing indeed. If the Khalistani radicals in the UK have actually managed to extend their tentacles into the British army, that's very, very serious cause for concern. That you not only have there have been allegations in the past of retired personnel, being involved in all of this, but for serving personnel to be involved in advising or planning such terror attacks is a matter of very grave concern, and I'm sure the DGP would have very serious reasons to mention this. They would probably have some kind of intelligence to suggest that this person was indeed part of the British army, and I'm sure we're going to see more of this in the days ahead, Kabir.
This happens even as, INS Tushil, we were just talking about
Yes.
it over the weekend. The High Commission in England, it welcomed the stealth-guided frigate over there.
Yes.
But I mean, even as we're talking about, a serving UK British Army personnel being involved in this entire module, how does now India start beginning pointing fingers? How do we start asking the right questions now?
Well, absolutely, Kabir, we should actually start asking those questions and build up a case, because in the past, India has actually made this case against countries in North America, Canada, for instance, and the UK and Australia, allowing these separatist elements to openly recruit and to raise funds and to raise anti-India slogans. There have been attacks on the Indian High Commission.
That's right.
In the UK and in Canada. Diplomats have been attacked. They've been threatened with violence. And yet, in the name of freedom of expression and free speech, these elements are continue to operate freely. Would India allow British or Canadian or American or Australian diplomats to be similarly targeted? Absolutely not. They would immediately clamp down on such elements. But in these countries, for some strange reason, the Khalistani separatists are having a free run. They go around preaching hate, running these tableaus. And as this case points to, Kabir, it's very disturbing. If a serving UK soldier is being actually successfully recruited, that is very, very ominous, because we now need to ask those kind of questions that, is he the only one? Are there other people involved as well?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, on the Libra scales, comparing Canada and the United Kingdom, Canada weighs a little bit heavier in terms of the Khalistan problem. But I mean, now many people are going to be asking the question, is England or the United Kingdom heading that way as well?
Yes, absolutely. And these are the questions that we must ask, that when you turn a blind eye to terror, Kabir, on your soil, when you allow separatist elements to proliferate, it's just a matter of time before they make the jump and become terrorists themselves. And this is what seems to have been the case in this incident as well, where this individual named Jagjit Singh, who called himself Fateh Singh Baghi, is said to have planned this incident.
He's also claimed ownership of this particular attack with the KZF as well, Fateh Singh Baggi. And this is the same person. He's using this fake identity. This is the British Army, the alleged British Army personnel that we're talking about here. And like you pointed out, it seems like the DGP has some sort of, credible intelligence.
They would have some intelligence because...
Do go on.
We have very excellent ties with the United Kingdom, and the fact that the DGP has spoken out suggests that he has something very concrete to go on this, that it's either intelligence or it's intercepted communications or statements or some sort of that thing. But it's really important that the government really come out very quickly and clarify and ask for an explanation. If this is indeed the case, that you have serving soldiers from a friendly nation being involved in running terror attacks against India, then we are on very dangerous ground, and we actually have a very strong case to clamp down very strongly on these separatist elements that are allowed to roam and preach hatred very freely in the UK and of course in Canada.
You know, a very pertinent point that you've raised over here, Sandeep, is that nothing like this would ever happen to any of the other envoys that are representing their respective countries here back at home in India.
Absolutely. We take these things very seriously.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, take a look at what happened near the American embassy as well. And even as the Israel-Hamas, war took over, the Indian government and the Ministry of Home Affairs was quick to, deploy the police personnel in the embassy areas as well. Now, this has certainly raised those, serious concerns, those eyebrows. But my final question to you is, two AK-47s, you've got a couple of Glock pistols. Does the weaponry tell us a little bit about the modus operandi? Does your expertise help the viewers understand what was at play essentially before I let you go?
Well, the AK-47s, the Type 56, they are actually the Chinese versions of the AK-47s that these terrorists were carrying. They're fairly common. But what interested me was the fact that the two Glock pistols that were recovered, they're Glock 26 pistols. And if you see the size of them, they're very compact pistols. They're very small pistols. They are meant for concealed carry, which means that they're not worn openly. They're usually worn on a thigh holster or, in an ankle holster. It's like a backup weapon. It's not the main weapon. But this also suggests that these kind of pistols, these very small, compact, very reliable weapons could be used for assassinations as well, because these are assassin pistols. They're very small, easy to hide, easy to conceal. And this is exactly the kind of pistol that an assassin would want to walk into in a public place and target a VIP of the kind that we saw very recently in the Golden Temple.
Well, absolutely. I think, Sandeep, we're going to leave it here, but this has certainly raised those big questions, and it's going to be very interesting and important to see what the Indian government does and what kind of reaction comes from the UK government. Serving British Army personnel being involved in this ISI-backed terror, on India, well, that certainly raises the right kind of questions and, the right kind of alarm bells as well. Many thanks, Sandeep, for bringing us up to speed with this particular story. All right, then, big news on the diplomatic front as well, as Bangladesh has now officially asked India to send back deposed Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Dhaka has sent a diplomatic note to India to send back Hasina, who has been living in exile in India since the 5th of August. Dhaka-based International Crimes Tribunal had earlier issued an arrest warrant for Hasina and other former ministers and officials in connection with alleged atrocities during her 16-year rule. Foreign ministers Tawheed Hussain and has sent a note verbal to India saying that Dhaka wants Hasina back to face the judicial process here at home in Bangladesh. Now, Hasina had fled the country after student-led protests toppled her government back in August. Bangladesh says she can be brought back under an existing extradition treaty between Dhaka and New Delhi. But shifting our focus to Jammu and Kashmir, ladies and gentlemen, where an internal revolt seems to have surfaced within the National Conference, the ruling party in Jammu and Kashmir, over the state's reservation policy. All of this as party member of parliament threatened to protest against Chief Minister Omar Abdullah. That's the student protest that you can see on your screens. The MP is Aga Ruhullah, who is leading the students' protest outside Chief Minister Omar Abdullah's residence in Srinagar, demanding a rationalization of the reservation policy in J&K. The centre's decision to amend the OBC category in J&K by including additional communities and adding Pahadis to the scheduled tribe list has reduced the open merit share to only about 40%. And this has sparked widespread dissent among the two largest ethnic groups, the Kashmiris and the Dogras, who feel discriminated against. They argue that this reservation policy needs to be rationalized as it disproportionately affects the majority population. The Member of Parliament, Aga Ruhullah, has had issued, beg your pardon, an ultimatum to Omar Abdullah government asking it to address the matter before the 22nd of December. Today is the 23rd and hence the protest. My colleague has filed in this report. Take a listen. But before we do that, some of those other leaders that joined in the protest as well. You've got Iltija Mufti, who was seen walking the same road as well. But it was Ruhullah who had earlier committed to protest the issue if it remained unresolved, and said that the deadline had passed already and that he would join people in their fight for a fair reservation policy.
हम किसी भी तबके के रिजर्वेशन के खिलाफ नहीं हैं। जितने भी जम्मू कश्मीर में तबके हैं, अगर वो पिछड़े हुए हैं, अगर वो सोसाइटी में दहाइयों से चैलेंज फेस करते हैं और उनकी आबादकारी के लिए अगर रिजर्वेशन एक रास्ता बनता है, तो ये हैंड होल्डिंग उनका राइट बनता है और हम उसके साथ, उसी के साथ साथ हमारी और इन स्टूडेंट्स की, एस्पिरेंट्स की, पेरेंट्स की, हर किसी सही सोच रखने वाली शख्स की बात यह है कि जहां पे इंसाफ करना है वो इंसाफ हर एक के साथ हो, खास तबके के साथ ना हो। जिस तरह से हमारे शेड्यूल्ड कास्ट, शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब, बैकवर्ड एरियाज या जिस तरह के भी तबके अगर वो चैलेंज फेस करते हैं, उनको अगर हैंड होल्डिंग देनी है, वो हैंड होल्डिंग देना, उनको वो रिजर्वेशन देना इंसाफ है। मगर उसी तरह से रिजर्वेशन इस हद तक एक्सटेंड करना जो रिजर्वेशन इर्रेशनल बने और ओपन मेरिट कैटेगरी पे वो तलवार बने, वो ओपन मेरिट कैटेगरी के साथ भी नाइंसाफी है। तो हमारा, हम सभी का, खास तौर पर इन स्टूडेंट्स का, एस्पिरेंट्स का मुतालबा ये है कि रैशनलाइज किया जाए। किसी ने ये मुतालबा नहीं किया कि किसी से छीना जाए, रैशनलाइज किया जाए, मंतिक का इस्तेमाल किया जाए, इंसाफ हो, अदल हो, जो जिस लिहाज से आबादी का तनासुब है उस लिहाज से रिजर्वेशन दी जाए।
On the weekend spoke out on the issue of persecution and atrocities committed in the name of dharma. Now, the RSS chief said that such acts are rooted in misunderstanding and lack of true comprehension of dharma. He explained that when dharma is not properly understood, it leads to adharma, fueling persecution and violence worldwide. He emphasized that dharma is eternal and governs the world's workings. He also asserted that dharma has always existed and everything works according to it, and that is why it is called Sanatan.
अज्ञम सुखम आराध्य जो अडाणी आहे त्याला लगेच समजावता येतो। सुखतरम आराध्यते विशेषज्ञ, त्याच्यापेक्षाही लवकर जो जाणतो समजतो। पण ज्ञान लव दुर्विदग्ध, थोड्याशा ज्ञानाने खूप फुगलेला, ब्रह्मापि नरम न रंजयती, त्या माणसाला ब्रह्मदेव सुद्धा समजवू शकत नाही। ते फार जिकिरीचं काम आहे आणि ते समजवायला जावं तर समाज म्हणतो हा चुकीचा आहे, याला हकला, याला मारा, याला ठोका। हे समाजाचं सहन करून समजावं लागतं। धर्म हा समजावा लागतो, तो नीट नाही समजला तर त्या धर्माच्या अर्धवट ज्ञानाने अधर्म होतो। जगामध्ये धर्माच्या नावाखाली जितके अत्याचार झाले आहेत ते या चुकीच्या समजुतीमुळे झाले आहेत। आणि म्हणून तो धर्म समजवायचं काम करणारे संप्रदाय असावे लागतात। नुसते पंथ असून चालत नाही। बाबांनी गोष्ट केली, विवेक पाहिजे। ज्या पंथाला विवेक प्राप्त होतो त्याला आपण संप्रदाय म्हणतो। सम्यक प्रदाय जो देतो, सम्यक रीतीने देतो।
Well, now this has led to sharp reactions from spiritual leaders. We earlier spoke to Jagat Guru Ram Bhadracharya. Listen in to this exclusive conversation.
वो ये कह रहे हैं कि यहाँ पर ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि हम हर मस्जिद के नीचे शिवाला ढूंढें। उनका एक बयान था। इसके अलावा वो ये भी कह रहे हैं कि साफ उनका एक बयान है कि राम मंदिर निर्माण के बाद कुछ लोगों को ऐसा लग रहा है कि ऐसे मुद्दों को उठाकर हिंदुओं के नेता बन सकते हैं। आपका इस पर क्या मानना है?
उनके दोनों बयान अदूरदर्शी हैं, व्यक्तिगत हो सकते हैं और तुष्टीकरण की नीति से प्रभावित हो सकते हैं। हमको अपना अतीत तो चाहिए ही चाहिए ना। सह अस्तित्व का अर्थ है कि प्रत्येक व्यक्ति अपने धर्म का पालन करे। वो अपने धर्म का पालन करें, हम अपने धर्म का पालन करें। हमने तो उनकी मस्जिदें कभी नहीं तोड़ी। जब उन्होंने हमारे मंदिर तोड़े हैं तो हमें मंदिर चाहिए ही चाहिए।
नहीं, लेकिन वो ये कहते हैं उस बयान में,
मोहन भागवत हमारे अनुशासक नहीं हो सकते।
क्या कह रहे हैं आप जगत गुरु जी?
मैं फिर कह रहा हूँ, मोहन भागवत हम हिंदुओं के अनुशासक नहीं हो सकते। आचार्य उनका अनुशासक हो सकता है। उनका बयान तुष्टीकरण से, पूर्ण तुष्टीकरण से प्रभावित है।
आप ये कह रहे हैं
हिंदू धर्म के बारे में बहुत नहीं जानते।
मोहन भागवत हिंदू धर्म के बारे में बहुत नहीं जानते, ये कह रहे रामभद्राचार्य जी।
प्रत्येक व्यक्ति को, हाँ मैं कह रहा हूं, और मैं ये भी कह रहा हूं कि प्रत्येक व्यक्ति को अपने धर्म के पालन का अधिकार है। जहां जहां हमारे मंदिर की यदि प्रामाणिकता हो रही है, हमको अपना मंदिर चाहिए। उनकी मस्जिद पर हम अतिक्रमण नहीं कर रहे हैं। उनका बयान दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है। लगता यह है कि मोहन भागवत जी एकता की व्याख्या ही नहीं समझते। एक होकर रहने का अर्थ है कि प्रत्येक व्यक्ति अपने अपने धर्म का स्वतंत्रता से पालन करे। प्रत्येक व्यक्ति अपने आराध्य की पूजा करे। वे अपनी नमाज पढ़ें, हम अपनी संध्या करें। वे अपने मस्जिद में नमाज पढ़ें, हम अपने मंदिर में भगवान की पूजा करें। ये अर्थ है। ये नहीं कि हमारे मंदिरों को तोड़ दिया जाए फिर भी हम क्षमा करते रहें।
Moving on, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, he visited Parbhani in Maharashtra today to meet the family of the Dalit activist Somnath Suryavanshi, who died whilst in custody. Suryavanshi, an activist lawyer, was arrested following violence over alleged vandalism of a replica of the Constitution. 3 days later, he was found dead in judicial custody. This is what the leader of opposition in the lower house of the parliament had to say.
99% नहीं, ये 100% कस्टोडियल डेथ है। पुलिस ने इनकी हत्या की है और चीफ मिनिस्टर ने असेंबली में पुलिस वालों को मैसेज देने के लिए झूठ बोला है। युवा को इसलिए मारा गया है क्योंकि वो दलित है और वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की रक्षा कर रहा था। आरएसएस की विचारधारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को खत्म करने की विचारधारा है। हम चाहते हैं कि एकदम ये मैटर रिजॉल्व किया जाए और जिन लोगों ने ये किया है उनको सजा मिले। मैं संतुष्ट नहीं हूं। मैं क्लियरली बोल रहा हूं, यहां इन लोगों को पीटा गया है और हत्या की गई है। मर्डर है ये कोई राजनीति नहीं हो रही है। ये मर्डर हुआ है और ये न्याय का मामला है। एकदम यहां पे जिनको न्याय मिलना चाहिए वो कार्रवाई पूरी होनी चाहिए।